Hello scrappers and planet lovers, Tin Man here with another video. So today what I want to do is take apart one of these pressure cookers. Very popular appliance now, a lot of households own them. We do have an Instapot here, easy to cook food. And the nice thing, because they are popular, you can find them often on garbage day. They do break down and they are a great source of scrap material. Each one of these weighs about 14.5 pounds. And I could bring them in as is and get electronic or appliance weight price, which is about 7 cents a pound, so better than nothing. However, these do have some really nice scrap inside, and I am going to make a lot more money taking the time to taking them apart. There is a nice bucket inside that is stainless steel. Some of them have aluminum. There's going to be a nice copper wire, as well as other copper items. So what I want to do today is take one apart, show you how to identify the material, separate it properly, and more importantly, maximize your profit and divert both of these away from the landfill. So here we go. I do have two here. This is just a Power Pressure Cooker XL. This is an Instapot. And I did want to show one of them. This one actually, I turned it over and this was the bottom. Looks like they left it on the stove. Maybe the burner was on, so that is unfortunate for sure. But very easy to open these components here. I am just going to do it for this one. So I'm just going to turn this one over. There is a couple screws on the bottom. I've already taken the screw out. Just going to give it a twist, let it get out of its locking mechanism. And this bottom will pop off. So here's a little bit of plastic. But when I bring this in, I am just going to close it back up. Because this whole shell here, if I put a magnet to it, you can see that the magnet does stick, as well as that one. So this whole shell is going to be tin. And currently right now in London, Ontario, tin is going for 16 cents a pound. So that is nice that I could just close that back up and won't even have to touch the control panel here. Scrapyards are not worried too much about a little bit of plastic. But inside of these, this one right here, you can see there is the bucket. Put a magnet to it. It is non-magnetic. As well as this one. I can take this one out, different color, but it too is non-magnetic. So this is either going to be non-magnetic stainless steel or aluminum. And the way to tell the difference is the spark test. If I hit this with a grinder and it sparks, it's going to be stainless steel. If I hit it with a grinder and it doesn't spark, it's going to be aluminum. So if it is non-magnetic stainless steel, going right now for 77 cents a pound. Some of these items you could try and resell. This one, however, does have a nice bang on it. It is pretty or in bad shape. I could actually use it to hold some of my scrap items in the garage here. So we'll see what I do. But either way, gonna do the spark test for this. I do have both of them here. Do have my grinder set up. Gonna put some safety glasses on. So here we go. So interesting, this one is actually cast aluminum. Currently right now, cast aluminum is going for 85 cents a pound. So a lot of your old barbecues, frying pans, all of those items. So great time to get cast aluminum. And this is pretty heavy. And I will put full weight breakdowns in the comment section with prices as well. So two different varieties. This one did spark, so non-magnetic stainless steel. And this one, cast aluminum. So 77 cents a pound, 85 cents a pound. What's also interesting about this lid, if I turn these two lids over, you can see two different metals as well, or two different colors. This one here, put a magnet to it, it is non-magnetic, and neither is this one. But this right here, because it is a different model, it does actually have a layer. I just pulled this off. This is actually going to be sheet aluminum. So sheet aluminum right now going for about 45 cents a pound. I do have to take off the small little rubber here, or the blocker, whatever you want to call those. But again, some clean aluminum. I do have to make sure I take that screw out in order to get clean aluminum priced, as well as this little plastic or rubberized plunger there. So that it is. So once the screw's out, again, gonna get 45 cents a pound for this. It's not that heavy, but I do throw it into my bag of aluminum and it does add up quickly. The rest of this lid is now stainless steel. And the way I get this handle off to get all the plastic off, because if I was to bring this in with the plastic on, I'm gonna get dirty stainless steel price, which is about 20 cents a pound. So significantly a lot less with plastic. So just a couple screws on the side that you see there, just gonna turn that. There's a screw there. There's one on the other side. This plastic frame will pop off. So there is a little bit of garbage, unfortunately, but it is going to be important to be able to get that good stainless steel price without the plastic on it. So do have to do that. This one as well, same thing. Take out my little rubberized washer there. You can see this is in need of wash, but some screws here to release it as well, and this will pop out. So lots of nice non-magnetic stainless steel here. That is awesome. Inside of it here, this you can see, it is also magnetic. And what you do want to be careful of is sometimes the magnetic attraction is going to come from another layer on the material. So if, for example, I put this on the lip and it is non-magnetic, but I put it on the side and it means that the inner layer is probably a different material. So you do want to make sure that you separate it. However, this one, as you can see, it is magnetic everywhere I touch. So this whole bottom here is going to be just going right into my tin. And I could actually throw this into steel. This is pretty thick. And the rule is when we look at tin or shred and steel, it all depends on the thickness of the metal, not what it's made of. So tin shred is any type of magnetic metal that is thinner than 1/4 inch. Anything that is higher than 1/4 inch, a lot of your structural beams, trampoline poles, those are items that are going to go into steel. They're a little couple cents more, maybe about 17 to 18 cents a pound. However, I do have a lot more tin when I go in, so I just throw it all in together. So I do want to clarify that. I have had several people comment about the makeup of tin and the different metals, but that is the category to scrapyard. So on the bottom here, couple items that I want to look at. The first thing, the appliance cord on this one. This is right now going as 40% appliance wire. It has an outer coating of plastic. Inside, if I cut this, it's going to have 3 coated strands of copper as well. So right now, 40% appliance wire going for $1.50 a pound in London, Ontario. So a great price. There are also some brass prongs on here. Some people leave these on for the weight. I do pull these off. I get $3.17 a pound for brass, so I have a nice big prong bucket. It does add up quickly, but again, it does depend on the scrapper. But a nice appliance wire here. This one, a little bit different. I am going to just pull this one out because there are some similarities, but there are also some differences. And this one here is going to also be 40% appliance wire. But what's interesting about this one is, as you can see inside, there are 3 strands of copper wire with the outer coating. So this is 40%, but these 2 outer ones here only have 1 strand of plastic on it. So I can actually upgrade some of this to a higher value at 60% appliance wire. So very easy hack to do. First off, I'm just going to cut off the plug end like so. So the plug end is off, and I will now remove the plug ends. Nice thing is when I pull these out, there will be some copper that feeds through as well. And I do have a full breakdown video on plug ends if you need to use plug end soup or different methods to do it, and I will include the link to that video in my description. But what I love about these types of wires, and I find it's only the ones that have the middle green one, is if I cut on this side, so I did cut this off, this is going to be some 40%. But this one here now, if I take just my side cutter, and I'm just going to go right between the 2 sides. So I'm just going to make a little incision, one side. Now I'm going to go on the other side because the nice thing is this is grooved. So now I have 3 strands of wire, as you can see. And all I'm actually going to do is just peel this like a banana. So there's one all the way. So this is now going to be 60% because it only has 1 layer of plastic, and inside there's the coated copper. This is the other outer one. There it is. It too is now 60%. And what happens is when I peel those 2 off, the green one in the middle also splits off. So I have a little bit of waste here not much, but I now have 3 strands right here, just upgraded from 40% to 60%. So $1.50 to now $2.55 a pound for this. So great way to upgrade, easy hack. But again, it all depends on the scrapper. And you do also want to make sure you separate your 40% from your 60% as you go along. I do have 2 different buckets. I did make the mistake years ago, keeping it all together and separating it the night before. So does save time, but a nice little hack there. Inside, here is my little control panel. Just gonna finish taking off the couple of my screws so I can remove this bottom here. But there really is not much to these. I see a small little circuit board that I'm gonna look at. A lot of tin in here, so that's what's kind of nice about this, is they are very easy to take apart. You know, again, there are just a few goodies that I want to make sure to take off beforehand. So just a minute, just getting the last couple of screws to pop this off. My screws I always have on a magnet. I have to pick that one up. But these screws, again, I throw them into a nice big container. Get 16 cents a pound for these. Easy to store up in a nice coffee tin. You know, safer, don't fall out of my vehicle when I'm driving, you know, potentially popping a tire from someone, another driver. So here we go, just gonna try to just pop that off. There it goes. And I'm just gonna cut this wire just to show you what's inside. So again, small little circuit board that I'm gonna get to. Just gonna pull it off here. On the back, there are a couple screws. All right, so I always get all my screws. I don't like to leave, especially with plastic. Unfortunately, here in southwestern Ontario, we don't get paid for plastic takeaway. I could try putting this into my recycling, but it's a hit or miss. Depends on the day, depends on the thickness. Unfortunately, we don't have a great plastic recovery facility here. Some of my friends, subscribers out east, say that they get paid at scrapyards for plastic, so that is awesome that they get that. Here, unfortunately, we don't. But this very easy small circuit board, this is gonna give me e-waste price. There's no real precious metals on here other than this relay box. That relay box, black box right there, if I open that up, there is gonna be a small spool of copper as well. Kind of looks like this, small spool of copper. And when I turn over the button, there's gonna be a small little smudge on that cylinder right there, or that circular dot there. That smudge is a little bit of silver. So I do pull these off. Definitely get out that copper. That's gonna be number 2 copper. Currently going for $4.30 a pound. There is not a pound there, but I do grab it all. The rest of this circuit board, again, 6 cents a pound for my e-waste. Little transformer there. Some people will leave that on for the weight. I do pull it off because it too also has a little bit of number 2 copper. But the rest of that, gonna go into my circuit board or e-waste pile. Okay, a little bit of wire that you see here, okay, coming off of here. And I will cut all of this wire off. Again, this wire is gonna be, as you can see inside, because it has the nylon, I did have a question on that. There is still only 1 layer on that, but some of your wire, like this, little strands like this, someone asked me about this stuff. This I get low grade wire, so I actually have a bag for all of my smaller wire that comes out of different appliances and electronics. I get about 30 to 40 cents a pound, so I don't put it with my appliance wire, which is thicker. You know, last thing you want is a scrapyard having it all together and they downgrade you tremendously and say there's not enough copper recovery on this. So little wires like this, as mentioned, put it into a low grade bag. If it's sorted, at least when you go to the scrapyard, they can still look at it for you and put it onto the scale. But once it's mixed, unfortunately, they don't have the time to do that. Okay, so just a couple little tricks and tips that I've learned along the way. Inside here, same thing. There is a small little apparatus here, small little circuit board. You can see that relay box, a little bit bigger, but it is pretty burnt. I am just gonna pull it off just to show you what's inside. Okay, so just gonna grab my pliers here. It should just break off. Hopefully don't crack the case, but there it is. Okay, so very easy to recognize. It always has like a plastic bottom on it. But again, just hitting this with a hammer just to break the plastic. Okay, so there you go. Inside, gonna peel it just to reveal. There's that little spool of copper. And sometimes you will also see on that side there, it's gonna have a little bit of copper that's connected to those silver dots. So again, a little bit more copper, but that is a relay box. The rest of this, these little items here do have a lot of magnetic traction to it. There is sometimes, when you see these little guys, sometimes there is a little bit of silver, but this one you can see a lot of tin. So the rest of this, I'm not even gonna bother really opening. I will cut out the wire, get all this wire out of here as well as that circuit board. But the rest of this pot is gonna just be thrown into tin. Okay, this is the item that I was talking about, and I will just show this one just to bring it up to the camera. If I can get it out of here, I might need a different screwdriver. Third one's a charm, hopefully. Oh, it's gonna be stubborn. Let's try something different. Sometimes, here, I just need a different socket, I think. But this, I don't actually even pull off sometimes. If I can get it, which I would love to be able to do. There we go. So just had to give it a little push. Okay, there's one. There's the other. This one I can see there's a little bit of grease on the bottom here too. Alright, so just gonna pull this out. If I can just pry it up for you. Okay. I think. No, it's not going to come out, and that's okay. This doesn't have much in it. It just has sometimes, like I said, it'll just have connectors to it right there. But a little bit of wire. There is one on each side of this. Maybe I'll try this side. Maybe it'll be a little bit easier to get this one out. There we go. If in doubt, try a different one. So, again, a lot of tin in here for sure. Okay, so there we go. Just bringing this up to the camera. So inside, there you go. If I pull these apart, you're not going to see much in here. This is a lot of metal, if you can even pull them open. Sometimes you will see on this side a couple silver contacts, just a little bit of brass in there, but not much in here that you can see. This is all just going to be thrown right into tin. So again, 16 cents a pound. And that is it. Just want to make one last pass on there. So as you can see, this shell is magnetic as well. The bottom here is also magnetic. There is, as I mentioned, small little circuit board in here, but I'm not even going to bother taking it out. I'm going to leave it actually as tin because I'm going to get a higher value for the weight of it included as tin than I would as e-waste. But I am going to get all of the wire that you see. Just going to grab all this. Again, this will be mixed low-grade wire, so don't put it with your appliances. But easy items, slow cookers, pressure cookers, sorry, not slow cookers, pressure cookers. Find them often. Great source of scrap. Not much work to them, but a lot of tin. You do want to check the bucket, as mentioned. Stainless steel, 77 cents a pound for this one, non-magnetic. Cast aluminum, 85 cents a pound for this. I do have my appliance wire. Easy upgrade hack to get that from 40% to 60% if the wire is similar to the appliance wire that I showed you earlier. But another great item found often. So hope you enjoyed that. Hopefully continue with the questions, comments. Look forward to working with the scrapping community, not only helping people monetarily, but helping keep garbage and recyclable material and scrap items out of the landfill. So hope you enjoyed that. Please comment down below, like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Tin Man out.